Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Olivia with Tarot and Coffee with Olivia, and I'm really happy that you're here. I really, really mean that. It's really been exciting for me to be able to do this every morning. It's been a learning experience, and most of all, it's helped me to take some time every single day in order to do some study and some meditation and to smudge and clear and pray and things like that I don't often take the time to do like I should. I do it when I'm scared or when I'm feeling it. You know how it goes. Anyway, since I've been doing this, I'm able to do it every day, and I really do feel like a stronger person, especially during this time where um, some of us don't have schedules to help keep us balanced, which I need that kind of stuff. So this has really helped me. So I have to just really thank you for being here and for watching this, and I hope that you're getting something out of it as well. Um, so I did not have so much time to study last night. My cats are sick. I don't know if they got bad cat food or what happened, but they were up in the night, and poor things have not even asked for breakfast this morning, and it's late for them for having breakfast. It's late for me. Sorry about that. I was up late, or I got up in the night with them. Hopefully, we'll find out what's going on with them today, see how they're feeling. Um, but anyway, so I just decided to fall back on one of my very old favorites. And when I say very old, I mean pretty old. I went to the Bible. Um, One of my favorite things in the Bible, and the Bible I'm using happens to be the New Oxford Annotated Bible. I'm not a purist. This is not by any means the one and only Bible you should be reading. I feel like God's words come to all of us from the places that we need them. Um, some of us aren't Christian, and that's okay. I really think that you can still have a spiritual life and still have a productive and good life, whatever religion you are, or even if you have no religion. It is possible. John, once I say it, John, if I just say John, some of you will know what I'm talking about. If I say John 13:34, you know that we're talking about the final law or commandment that Jesus gave to his apostles, and therefore the rest of Christianity. This one new commandment, he calls it. I give you a new commandment, that you love one another. Just as I have loved you, you also should love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you have love one for another. And one of the things someone told me, I'm fairly certain I did not come up with this on my own, but someone told me that this final commandment, if you line it up next to the other 10 commandments that Moses brought down from the mountain, you don't really need any of those commandments if you are abiding this commandment: love one another. We can love our I love my coffee. Unfortunately, this probably makes most Mormons uncomfortable with my readings, unless they're uncomfortable that it's tarot readings. I love Mormons. I used to be one. Okay, so what do we have next? I guess I want to tell you about the timestamps, and that is that I will be leaving timestamps in the comments so that you can skip ahead to your reading and you don't need to be befuddled by someone else's reading today. So at this time, you, and maybe while I was reading or maybe before, you've had some time to pick the stone or the crystal that is drawing you today, or the card that's drawing you today. However you want to pick your card, please do so. If you need more time, you can definitely pause the video and take all the time that you need to pick the one that you want. I have a friend, she told me that she often can't tell exactly which card is calling to her, so she picks two. She picks one and then she picks a lesser one, and that's been working for her. There's no wrong way to do this. I'm just glad that you're here. So here we go. Timestamps. All right. It's time to go to the reading. So I'm going to show the stones up close. This is my palm stone, my tiger eye. It fits nicely in the palm of my hand. I carry it in my pocket pretty frequently. I often carry rocks in my pockets. I don't know. I feel like they give me some kind of hold me down to the ground. I'm an air sign, Gemini, so sometimes you'll catch me flying around. This is selenite. They come sometimes, this is just a little piece, but they come sometimes in these really long wands. This is my halite, which is a very common stone, but I find it to be commonly beautiful and gorgeous. And here is my honey citrine. It makes me, don't you want to lick it when you hear honey? It seems like it's just a lovely piece of candy. Also, here's a Swami frog. I want to show him today because one of my fans said that they really like Swami frog. So he's here today. He's going to be on the sidelines. And does he have a PhD? Why, yes, he does. Okay. So we are going to start with the Tiger Eye Palm Rock and turn this one over. And we have the Eight of Cups. Have we had this recently? I feel like we have. If this is a card you're seeing again and again, this is something that Spirit wants you to work on. And when I say Spirit, I want you to interpret that any way that you would like to. Your higher self, your higher being, the Holy Spirit, the voice of God. There are lots of ways to think about it. So you can see this young man is walking away from something. Sometimes this card is searching for something, but whenever I see this card, I often think about things like graduation, a passage from one point of life into another, possibly growing up, reaching a certain age. There's grief in this card and loss, and I think that has to do with, searching for your next 2.0. your 2.0. So yeah, reinventing yourself or moving on. So if you have this card today, I'd like you to take some time and think about your next phase of life. You may have already been doing this. You may have already been thinking about it, because here we are in the COVID, what my friend Ralphie May used to say, call the great sickness. And here we are, and he's not. I'd like to take a little moment to think about my friend Ralphie as he has passed on. We're going to go ahead and move on from the Eight of Cauldrons. The Eight of Cauldrons is also cups, which is also hearts and family. So feel the love and support and know that you have that as you move on to your next phase. Now we're going to move to the selenite. If you chose this stone, then this is your card today. We're going to turn it over. The Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so as I said before, Pentacles represent coins and careers sometimes money, but also oftentimes I think some people forget that the coins also represent humanity. I think of it as kind of my Unitarian card. So, this knight is a very determined and responsible young man. You can tell by his beautiful haircut, which is a lot like my COVID haircut. One day you'll see my face. I think I have my face on one of these, but when I get my new camera, I'm hoping to have two cameras and one on the cards and one on my face. He is sometimes methodical in his work because that can be very efficient. So if this is your card today, the Knight of Swords, there's two things. One thing is if you've been going along and going along and going along and you've been responsible and you have been working and you have been doing your thing, think about a different way to do it so as not to become bored. Because the other side of this card is boredom, mediocrity, not getting, the opposite of all the other good stuff. They're responsible, strong, fearless, brave, confident, hardworking. This guy, he reminds me of someone in particular from my past. If you have this card today, another thing I'd like you to recognize is the strength that you have that you give to your community by doing your job every day. You need to pat yourself on the back. You need to know that you are needed, that you are loved, and that the job that you are doing is important, and that it helps people. If it doesn't, think about doing something else. If you don't love it. If you love it, keep doing it. This card to me is a nice compliment to the things that you've been doing, where you've been putting your time. Okay, we're going to move on to the beautiful Miss Howlite. Miss Howlite, would you step forward? We're going to turn over your card right now. I know that was a little silly. Let's see. Ooh, the High Priestess. So this card is also known as the Moon card. You can see the two moons on either side, the dark side and the light side. So this card is a high card, so it really does have a lot of different aspects to it. If this is the card that you picked today, I would like to tell you it's mostly a feminine card, and I'd like you to think about, if you are female, where you are in your monthly cycle. Be aware of that, and be aware of the intuition and the openness that you have when you are on your period that feels very vulnerable, because it is a vulnerable time for you. This is a time to trust your instincts, whether it be your time of the month or not. This card tells you, if you're male, your cycles are mostly measured by the moon rather by the sun rather than the moon, like female. So I don't know as much about your cycle. But remember, no matter who you are, male or female, when you get the moon card, you are tapped in to the knowledge of the universe. You have a way in. That's why I say trust your instinct. She's an oracle. She's influential. She's knowing and psychic. On the other side, she is prone to madness and hard times when it comes to being, the dark side of the moon. So you can see the other animals that are here. We have the rabbit, we have the cat, we have a squirrel, we have a snake, we have a deer and a unicorn, a butterfly, we have guardian angels, we have mystical beings, we have deer often talk to longevity. Rabbits often talk to luck and fertility. Black cats especially talk to our dark side, our the dark side of our souls. We all have it. We all have good and evil within us. The snake talks about knowledge, which in some thoughts and religions also think of the snake, as tempting Eve to eat the tree of knowledge, which may have been bad or evil, but it really isn't. Knowledge is knowledge. There are consequences to having it, and those consequences can be difficult. And we can't have good without evil. So if you have this card today, I want you to know that you're okay. All the dark side of you and the light side of you are both part of you, and that's okay. And know that you are tapped into the secret knowledge of the universe. So take some time and think about that. Also, allow yourself to have those times where you're a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit weaker, a little bit less able to face the world. That's okay, as long as you're able to come out through the month and carry yourself. You have lots of spirit animals around you and lots of help, lots of guardian angels in the butterfly and the birds in the background. So, yes, if you have this card today, look at yourself. Take the things that you feel are dark, too dark, and just accept them like you would a little black kitty purring at your feet. Of course, we all strive to do better, and most of us strive to do good. But be okay with who you are. You're a complete being and a child of God. So now we're going to move on to the last but not least frog. I guess Swami Frog wants to say something here. He's got something to say. Ribbit, ribbit. And if you understood that, you're very close to the secrets of the universe. I had to have another sip of my coffee. Sorry, Mormon ladies. So we're moving on to the honey citrine. This beautiful, delicious rock. We're going to turn this one over today. Nine of Cauldrons. You know, I love this card. Oh, let me bring it up and show it to you. This card, I always call it a happy family card. But, you know, the thing is I am big on indulgence. I love any excuse to indulge myself and those that I love. Eat, drink, and be merry card. That's another thing I call the Nine of Cups. It's also hearts, and it represents success and happiness. I think in this case, with the COVID going on, a lot of us, I know not all of us, some of us have been working this whole time while everybody else stays home. That is a powerful feeling and profound, and it can feel bad and it can feel good. But for a lot of us, we're home, and we need to look at this card and think about dialing it back. Because if we're going to read both sides of the card, then we're going to think that maybe today we might want to dial some of that back. Not the family part, not the happiness part, just the constant eating and drinking. Water's fine. And I know I've talked about Mormons a lot in this reading. I know y'all aren't drinking, so yeah. The good part is that, yes, if you are able to do this, if you are able to indulge and enjoy this time, oh, good. More power to you. There is so much more coming up. that we need to be ready for. And sometimes having memories to look back on is a way to move forward through the darkness. So if you have this card today, enjoy what you have, but maybe ramp it back a little. I think you can tell oftentimes, well, I'm thinking of you guys, but sometimes I'm thinking of myself when I'm reading. Because all the cards that I read, when I read, I pay attention so that I too can learn. And now that we have all the cards turned over, it's time to say goodbye. I'm always surprised at what a short time it seems to take and how long it takes to upload. But thank you for watching, and if you enjoy this, please take the time to like it and share it. And if you really like it and you want to come back, subscribe. That way, if you subscribe and click the little bell for notifications, then you'll know exactly when I post. You'll hear a ding 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 on your phone. And then that way you'll always get it as early as I can get it up on the screen. I'm here every day for you, barring emergencies. So I hope that you are able to come here every day and get a little something to take to your day to make it a little bit more interesting, a little brighter, a little something something. All right, guys, I love you. Again, this is Olivia with Tarot and Coffee with Olivia. That is the name of my website. It's www.https:// Terry and Coffee with Olivia at GoDaddySites.com. That's my website. You can book there if you want to see me privately. Well, I'm still just doing over the phone. Over the phone, Zoom, you can see my face, and we can talk. Right now I have a special going on. You can look at my website and see what that is. And if you're special, well, even if you're not, everybody's special. Everybody has their own thing. Mr. Rogers taught us that. Give me a call. My phone number is on my website, the phone number that I do my readings on. So give me a call and we'll chat. We'll have a little private reading for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.